I am somebody who, when I sit here, I stand on business. No matter if you agree with me or not, I'm going to give you the truth. And the truth is, people tend to look at Met fans as less than. They look at the Mets organization as less than. Because history says that we have been less than. We haven't been a successful franchise for very long. We haven't been a franchise for that long, period. Right? So when you have storied franchises like the Chicago Cubs, St. Louis Cardinals, the New York Yankees, the Red Sox, all of these teams that have been around for a while, we're kind of late to the party. So we still have some stuff to overcome and to be able to achieve. Like, think about it. Our home run leader is how many home runs Darryl Strawberry has in his career? 200 and something?
Yeah, it's in the twos.
Yeah, that's not a lot for somebody who was, spent the majority of his career at one place. Yeah. So for us to not have anybody yet, Pete is going to break it this year, but we haven't had anybody break it yet, shows you a lot.
Yeah.
Is that we are still an infant franchise that's trying to be more consistent and be that juggernaut dominant franchise for the next 10, 20, 30 years. We get that. We get that Yankee fans have this superiority complex. We get that all the people that cover the Yankees have this aura of invincibility about them because they're covering the hollowed Yankees. It's fine. You guys have all of these great players that's come through your organization, the team. I'm not going to knock them. Great players. Historical players. Historical figures that have set records. Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hit streak. Nobody's going to break that shit. Right? Babe Ruth, legend. All of these guys. Reggie Jackson, Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter. Like, you have so many greats. Respect to them. And respect to all the Yankee fans that are true Yankee fans that bleed their team, but they're realistic. You don't have to be a negative Yankee fan to support your team. You can be a fan that loves them, and then you can also be honest about your team. I have a whole bunch of Yankee friends that support the team, but they're very realistic about their expectations. They don't believe that it's World Series every year. They did. Listen, let's go ahead and ride this out. Let's see what it is. Let's enjoy the season. Let's go from there. So those are the people that I respect. I don't respect the people that behave like the Yankees are the best thing in town because, newsflash, they haven't been. Got to World Series last year, cool. But what'd you do before that? Not much.
There's been many franchises that have made multiple World Series within that space.
Exactly, yeah. Right? So this is what I'm saying is that, yes, you're the hollowed Yankees. Yes, the history is rich. But let's cool the F out about it, right? So Juan Soto chooses to go to the Mets over the Yankees. And people have been angry, upset. I have people in my life, and I'm not going to, not call people out. I'll call people out by names. I don't need to use names today because they don't fucking matter. But you know who you are. In regards to saying that, oh, well, I hate Juan Soto now. He was never yours to begin with. And shouts to Alfred. He has the Metropolitan Report. He had a nice clip in the segment talking about Yankee fans, talking about how, where was the smoke for Roger Clemens when he was on the contract with y'all, retired, and then signed with the damn Astros? You didn't have no smoke for him. Where was the smoke for Robinson Cano when he took the money and went to Seattle? He was yours. But the guy that literally got traded here, he didn't ask to be a Yankee. You traded for him. You knew that he was going to hit free agency. You knew that there was no way in hell he was going to sign an extension. He was always going to hit free agency. Because who is his agent? It's Scott Boras. Scott Boras doesn't sign mid-season extensions. That's not what he does. So you had this guy, and please sign Juan Soto. Sign him. Sign. All you fans were clamoring and sucking meat. Oh, we love Juan Soto so much. He's so great. But as soon as he says, you know what? I think the team across town is pretty good too. Like what they're doing, like what they have. I appreciated my time with the Yankees, but it's time for me to go. That's not good enough for you. You can't just go ahead and say, thank you for the year. Thank you for getting us to the World Series. It didn't work out, but all the best to you. No. But here's the thing. I expect it from the fans. I do. I expect it from regular fanatics like myself that are so passionate about their team that they take it personal. Who I don't expect it from are people that are in legacy sports media that are supposed to be the glimmer of light and the beacon of just honesty and transparency. Guys like Michael Kay. Those guys. Mr. Yankee. So we're going to talk about his lying ass. We're also going to talk about ESPN and their stupid ass coverage as well. Because the Subway Series comes, Juan Soto's in town, and Buster Only was supposed to have him mic'd up to talk about Aaron Judge. Not about him being in New York. Not about him being with the Mets and how he's fared with the Mets and if he's comfortable and what he likes about the Mets, what's different between the Mets and the Yankees, all of those softball fucking questions that they always ask on Sunday Night Baseball. You don't want to ask him those questions. You want to ask him about Aaron Judge. So what did Juan Soto do? Juan Soto said, you ain't micing me up tonight. Oh, ESPN didn't like that. They didn't like that one bit. So you have idiots out there like Carl Ravage, right? That's talking about, oh, well, we heard that Juan Soto has a private jet. Where? Show me the actual flight log. Show it to me. Post it. Where is it? So you have all of these people that are spreading these lies and propaganda for what? Because the guy went to the other team? Because he's no longer a Yankee? Because he didn't want to give you an in-game mic-up interview? You tried to set him up. He just wants to play baseball. He doesn't care about being on your stupid ass mic. And if you wanted to ask him real questions, he would have answered it because he did an interview with The Athletic when the Mets were in Boston. Talked about, hey, listen, love being with the Mets. You know, the Red Sox were really, really close. They were, at the top of the list with the Yankees and the Mets. Like, I almost got here. I almost went here. I love this place. It's great. So he talked up the Red Sox, talked up the Mets. You don't think he could have did that the same thing with the Yankees or with the mic on Sunday night baseball? But they didn't want to do that. So for me, I'm like, all right, I already see the bullshit that's happening here. So he ends up leaving the game. Or leaving, after the game, he doesn't speak to any reporters. Oh, they didn't like that either. They didn't like that. So you got people like Bob Clappish from NJ.com start to spread bullshit too. Oh, well, I'm hearing that he's miserable with the Mets. Don't take my word for it, but I hear sources. It's a private jet. You got Boomer Esiason going to his stupid ass show in the morning the next day talking about private jets. Where are you getting this information from? Do you guys not vet information? You just talk whatever you hear? So you're no different than the person that doesn't have a show. Where's the people that are actually supposed to be vetting the information and giving it to you to talk about? But you're a Met fan. You're an insider. You have conversations with people in the Mets organization. But you don't know that Juan Soto doesn't have a private jet? This is why I don't listen to legacy sports media, sports radio. I don't listen to none of it. It's all garbage. You have idiots out there like Keith McPherson. I don't understand how he's even on radio. He's so one-sided. If you want to be a Yankees guy, let them hire you over there, yes. But if somebody that wants to actually hear a very, very unbiased program, you ain't the person to be able to spill that. All I hear is unintelligent conversations over there. So again, you're starting to see what? A Yankee propaganda starting to grow. Starting to build and grow and starting to permeate and stink. And who is the grandmaster of them all? Michael Big fucking Head K. Mr. I think that I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. No one cares about Michael K anymore. But for him to come out and say, oh, I heard that Juan Soto's family forced him to choose the Mets. He was going back to the Yankees. That's funny. Because you said before the season that Juan Soto chose the Mets for the money. So which one is it? Is it because we gave him the suites and all this other stuff where the contract is over $800 million if you go ahead and factor in the price of the suites? Or is it that his family forced him to go? Which one is it? So you want to talk about, oh, don't get mad at me because, this is what I'm hearing. Your sources. Where are your sources? Show them. Since you're so tapped in, show them. Since you don't want people to come at you and call you a liar, which I'm going to call you, you're a fucking liar. Show it. Because if you don't show it, you're just as bad as Stephen A. Smith. You're the white version of Stephen A. Smith. All you do is stuff for clickbait now. You do things to be seen because you know what's happening. Legacy media is starting to die. And you have independent contractors and independent creators out there that are doing a lot better work than you. Nobody gives a shit about the Michael K. Show. You don't even have video on your YouTube clips because maybe you don't even know how to use it. You're a dinosaur. You're an 8-track tape. You're a floppy disk. And then it got even better. You had him go on this rant today. Talk about all you Met fans and you creators, you guys are beneath me and I don't have to do this anymore because I've made a great living and I still make a great living. Then quit. Then quit. But guess what? You do it because you, like everybody else, does it for views. If people don't download your streams, then you don't get paid, which means that you have to make sure that you keep your base hungry for something. And then when you give them something, now they're satisfied. You're giving the Yankee people, all the Yankee fans out there that hate Juan Soto, oh, this is food for the base. You're no different than Fox News. Yankee propaganda is what I see. Let it go. Let it go. You have Aaron Judge having a historical season. Historical start. Yet you're flooding your airways with Juan Soto. He's not a Yankee anymore. Talk about Grisham. Talk about The Martian. Talk about all of these guys that are playing so well for the Yankees right now. You guys are in first place. You guys had a walk-off win last night. Shouts to y'all. Talk about that. Talk about how great the prospects are looking, whatever it is. But you can't do that consistently because nobody cares about listening to you cover the Yankees, especially on Yes, because it's a dead program. You ever listen to a Yankee game? It's like listening to an obituary at a funeral. Boring. Michael K, boring. And you know what's crazy? The fact that there's another team across town that keeps winning awards. It's interesting. So the baby brother, you have to actually kowtow to and realize that they're better than you. You know why they're better than you? Because they're just regular fucking people. And they're not some fucking bot. And what's crazy about Michael Kay and his little rant today going off on these Mets independent creators like Wardy, like some other pods that pods out there. Shouts to Wardy, shouts to all of these guys that are in the space that are doing their thing and they're building their own brand. They don't have to be Michael Kay. We don't need them to be Michael Kay. If anything, don't be that. Be something the opposite of that. Be something better. Be a decent person. Don't be an asshole like Michael Kay. Because I know people that know Michael Kay. He's an asshole. I'm not gonna hold my tongue here. I'm not gonna, no. Let's be honest. Let's have an honest conversation about what we actually see. It's Yankees lies and propaganda. You have Bob Clapper's. Who does he cover, Silent Assassin? You know? It's the Yankees. Who does Michael Kay cover? Oh, the Yankees. So wouldn't it behoove people who are covering the Yankees to go ahead and go throw dirt on Juan Soto's name as much as possible? Because all it does what? It gives you ratings and clicks and downloads. Give me a break. It's disgusting. That's my issue with this whole thing. Is that if you want to go ahead and talk on your program about certain things, tell the truth. Say, listen, I don't know if this is true or not. I would hope that it's not, but I'd seen whatever it is, and I heard this or whatever it is. But you're talking about this as it's fact. It's not. None of it is. There's no private jet. There's no coercion from his family. There's none of that. He's miserable with the Mets. The only time I saw him smile was when he smiled at Boone and Judge. The fuck out of here with that bullshit. And even if that were the case, let's go ahead and just live in this hypothetical world, shall we? Even if he was miserable, guess what? He'll never go back to the Yankees because he chose his bed. You got to deal with that. That's the whole point. Let it go. It's over. To you Yankee fans that have vitriol and so much rage and anger for this man, let it go. Go hang out with your families. Go enjoy life instead of being in your mother's basement miserable. And for Michael Kay, instead of you being on your high horse and telling other Met creators and people who are trying to build their own brand in the space that they're beneath you, how about you do something constructive and actually help the creators and help the youth try to get to where they need to be instead of gatekeeping like all of you old motherfuckers always do. You say it yourself. You're 64 years old. You don't need to do this anymore. Then walk away. Do everybody a favor and leave. Because at the end of the day, you're a fossil. You're a dinosaur. You're something that people don't want anymore. You may come at me and say, I'm a nobody. Yeah, that's true. But guess who also is a nobody to many? Michael Kay. Michael Kay doesn't stir everybody's drink. We can be able to watch content. We can be able to watch the Yankees without having to see you. And it's better that way. Because gatekeepers like you and Stephen A. Smith and Buster Only and all of these losers that continue to occupy space in this content world. You're on borrowed time. At some point, people start to tune you out. You don't get the same reviews and stuff anymore, and you become a legacy act. I'm just waiting it out. And I'll be here to kick you out the door as well. Moving on. Before I move on, any thoughts, Silent Assassin, of what I said?
I think with everything like coming out now, I obviously agree with your whole Yankee propaganda. But like, if say the private jet thing was real, wouldn't we have heard about that?
Yeah.
How many months ago when he signed and all the other stuff was coming out that he gets all these incentives that weren't even true. Also too, if like, who is your, like, if you're hearing his family made him do this, only Juan Soto knows that.
Right.
So then going down the line, like, who's your source? Like, you direct with, apparently now you're direct with Juan Soto.
Yeah, sure. You talk about you got Met sources. What Met sources?
Yeah.
This is a new Mets organization. What sources do you have now?
Yeah. Everyone's clean house.
Yeah.
So
ain't no Will Ponce there no more.
No. Got a whole new team and a whole new organization in there. And then you saw him, like, once the news broke, you saw Soto celebrate and then the hot tub getting the champagne. Like, he was happy, Obviously, he hasn't had, I guess, going at his season has been, good. I don't know if you remember, who's it? Trevor, he was a pitcher for us a few years ago, a relief pitcher.
Trevor May.
Yes, Trevor May. He was on his TikTok sharing like the 10 biggest contracts that have been signed recently. And Soto was on there. He was plus, has these contracts been worth it? And he's been plus for the first, 40, 50 games of the season has been good for us. Obviously, he hasn't been Juan Soto caliber, but it's going to take time to kind of get there. There was a comment I saw, like, we haven't seen the Soto shuffle really. Like, when's that happening? He's like, oh, it's going to come. But, time has to be
He's
ready.
getting comfortable.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about that later in the show. But,